listening to the Busted Wide Open podcast, dropping the elbow on the hottest topics in sports entertainment and the world of professional wrestling. With your hosts, Nick Howell and Sir Ian Dangerous. Coming to you from the Orbital Jigsaw Network Arena in sunny Southern California.
I wonder if it's picking us up now. Can we hear? Can I hear on the live stream? Can I hear?
I don't know.
There it is.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
I hear things.
So I'm going to crank that son of a bitch way up so we can hear it. Why are you going blurry on me, camera? There we go. Yes. All right, so a little bit of technical difficulties, guys. Sorry for the delay. But holy shit, Ian, we are live on YouTube.
It begins. It begins.
Oh, man. Well, there it is. All right, and we're done. All right, thanks for everybody for... I'm just kidding. We're not done. We're going to go through a bunch of stuff. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Hope you guys like the layout. Probably going to evolve and change over time. I'm going to get a little version of the chat up here so I can keep up with everybody. There we go. We don't have any of those abilities to do the fun like super chats and all that stuff yet. But bear with us as we grow. That will come very shortly.
All right. And I see the chat there.
Yes. Nice.
Wonderful.
If you want to pop it out, you can click the little ellipsis and do pop out chat, and it'll put it in a separate window for you.
I like it right there.
You like it right there? All right.
I'll figure. I may be a Luddite, but I'll figure out my technology.
Well, guys, we just finished recording our Extreme Rules recap and analysis of that show. We'll have that up very shortly. Nick, you need to put Braun on your mic. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
He's still in the living room.
What's that?
He's still in the other room. So
is he
actually, you know what?
We have a Braun in here, don't we? Well, you have your own actual like. Okay, Nick's gonna go get something here. There's actually gonna be, I think, a little bit of dressing of the set while we're live here. Once Nick returns, I'm gonna grab some stuff of my own and maybe put up some things now that I can see what I'm working with here. But, oh, God. Well, Esther, you asked for it.
Let's see if I can fashion him onto the mic. Because these are the priorities when you're testing a live stream, guys. These are the absolute... Ooh, we might be able to tuck him in under there.
This is the great thing. Roman already, he just kind of fits there.
There we go. Screw mic flags. Screw actual mic flags for the mics. We've got
why do you get
figures.
Stop copies me, man.
I know.
That's almost.
I know.
It's like too much.
I know.
Too much action figures on the screen.
So, guys, let us know how the sound quality is. Let us know if it's loud enough. Let us know if we need some more. Ooh, I think I know what I need to do. I'm going to turn all the stuff on. So turn your volume down just a little bit for me, guys, so I don't blow your ears out. But we're going to turn all the fancy gear on that makes it sound amazing. All right?
Nick, I think this is the right time actually.
Oh, wait, what? What happened?
Well, trying to get something done here, but it's just not working. Okay. I think now is the right time to actually, why don't you take your little brawn man over there off your mic?
I will not.
Well, you should.
I'll do no such thing.
Just for a moment.
Bear with you're not into him like I am. Fine.
Would you just please?
Fine. I'll humor you for 10 seconds.
Humor me.
Yes.
Because I got you a better brawn.
Oh, no.
I got you a better brawn.
Yes.
A big. He's even got a little rat tail that's flipping around
bigger breader brawn.
Bigger breader brawn. that way it's not. It doesn't.
Yes!
You know, it's not such an even thing with Roman and Braun. Now it's very different. I don't know if you can guys get a good look at that. There you go, sir. There is your Braun Strowman.
Oh.
Your new
now
Braun
the
Strowman.
Worst thing that could happen is the dogs get a hold of this.
Well, that's why put him somewhere where he's in the camera view. You staple him to the wall.
It's my brother. My beard brother.
Thank God he's not your rat tail brother.
Right. Yes. Well, he is from North Carolina as well, so those were a thing back in 1987.
Yeah, well, apparently he's straight out of 1987.
Right. Oh, man. Okay, so what do we want to talk about? It looks like we got the technical stuff worked out. I've got all the things dialed in right now, it looks like. I'll still tweak them just a little bit. But, yeah, we just finished the Extreme Rules recap. I wanted to spend some time with all of you guys that are joining here talking about what's coming, because this is more than just us live streaming on YouTube. This is about relaunching Patreon. This is about getting a lot of new shirt designs that we've been kind of teasing and threatening for a year now to put onto T-shirts, and we're finally getting through doing it.
It's the beginning of phase 2.
What's phase 2? This is phase 2.
Yeah, this is the first step.
Yeah.
Of phase 2. Literally the first, like the little toe, the pinky toe is just touching down on.
I took it very seriously when Steven Larson challenged us and said, "Why are those guys not on YouTube? They're not a real show."
I took it seriously
until
too.
They're not
man.
on YouTube, and it's been the last 3 months of me going, "I'll show them. I'll set up some live streams. I got computers everywhere and just all kinds of stuff." So yeah, it's a matter of this is the next step of the show for us. I feel like we've taken it about as far as we can with what we've got from an audio perspective. And the next step, obviously, is introducing video. I want to get more interactive with our listeners. So, yes, mark your calendars. Thursday, August 2nd, 5 p.m. Pacific is the first episode we're going to record live. Live
podcast episode.
Yes. So what does that mean?
Garbage trucks and police officers be damned.
Yeah, so I do need to throw out the disclaimer, of course. I live the studio is in Los Angeles. Okay, it is on Ventura Boulevard in Los Angeles. It gets loud out there sometimes. There are garbage trucks and motorcycles and Lamborghinis that think they're in Formula One and LAPD helicopters that like to hover over every now and then. When we go live, we're not gonna be able to edit that stuff out. So we got to push through it. So no more stop starting like we do with the audio show. Whatever we capture is what we capture because we don't want to miss a moment with you guys. Yes, we're still all these recordings will be up on YouTube, and at the same time we're recording the audio on the back end so that we can then fashion that into the audio podcast that will go up on the feed that you guys have all been subscribed to this entire time. So with all of that in mind, I want to throw a lot of stuff out there about live. Like what is this actually going to be? And we've thought about this a lot. We've talked about this a lot. This is going to be a live stream of the recording of the show as we normally do it. That's what the Thursday live stream is going to be. Now, that's not to say that we can't jump on and do other live streams for things in the future, going forward as they become requested. As some of the Patreon tiers start to fill up with extra content, all of those things are open. We're just essentially going to start with baby steps. We're simply going to turn cameras on and push the recording process of our podcast to YouTube. So we want to grow it from there. So let's continue to do what we've been doing this whole time, but we'll just turn some cameras on and kind of pretend they're not there and interact with the chat.
Yeah, that's been the plan, and that sounds like a great plan to me. I mean, basically just do our show the way we've been doing it, but then that way you guys can actually see. It's a little bit more detailed because a lot of times, we have expressions and we have a little bit more. I don't know. What do you think? Like, it translates more, like some of the things that we say, if we have like the expressiveness of what we're saying as well.
Well, I tend to be pretty like Ricky Bobby. I can be with my hands sometimes. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands, so I'm a presenter. I'm a public speaker, so I can be expressive. You guys will get to see that now. You guys will get to see me make funny faces at Ian when he says stuff, and I'm like,
There's a lot of times we make faces at each other, and the details are going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
No, it is really going to be a good next step, and obviously that's something that's the reason people have been doing it for as long as they have been doing it, because it's a great extra detail to add to any show, and that's why we want to do it.
Yep.
Because we want, as you said, Stephen Larson challenged us, and by God, they're right. We should get some content, and there's a lot more video and visual content that we want to do besides just live streaming the show. Like live streaming the show, okay, great. That's a nice little bonus added thing, but I want to go start doing some like top 10 videos and some video videos.
I'll give you guys a teaser. I'll turn my camera around. And there is a big old green screen.
Yes, we got
umbrella lights and all kinds of stuff back there.
We gotta steam that sucker.
So more content coming very soon, right here on Busted Wide Open. We're going next level. This is it. This is kind of what we've been teasing, what we've been waiting for. So
yeah, we got a lot of stuff we've been brainstorming, like a lot of cool things. You know, like special guest stars and interviews and just extra content.
Yeah.
Besides just the basic show, which we'll still be doing, and but we'll be doing a lot more stuff besides the basic. That'll become like the flagship show.
Sure,
and there'll just be more stuff on top of that.
Yeah, and it's a great way to kick things off. I think the transition going from what we've been doing to what this is going to be will be great. But I can't wait to really get into doing multiple shows a week. That's just one of the things that is going to come in time. Well, we want to get immediately after the shows are done, immediately after the pay-per-views are done, or even just next day, rather than having to wait till Thursday. All that stuff comes in time, and this is just a part of the growth of the show, and we're really excited about it.
We did kind of say on the State of the Show address
on our birthday show.
On our birthday show, we were talking about that and just kind of how the dynamics of this show work, where I work. I work a lot. I'm in 2 bands. I've got 2 jobs. Like I'm a busy man. And it's not like you're a slouch either. You've got a lot of stuff going on as well. So
I just get to do it all from the comfort of my home and studio. So
yes, you do. You son of a bitch. But you put in the work to be able to do that. So, but
if you guys didn't notice, I was up at 4 a.m. last night updating Patreon and making T-shirts. So
I was up at 4 a.m. closing the bar and getting home. So, and trying to determine if I was going to try to keep going with my Borderlands playthrough or watch some G1 or just pass out.
Yeah. Mix of both, probably? Or all 3?
A little bit of G1 and passing out. Yeah, that's pretty much how it went down. I got to be here. But, one of the biggest kind of blocks to doing a lot more stuff on the show is the fact that LA is not cheap. It's not a cheap place to live. And, and Daddy's got to pay for his rent. So I have to actually go do work, and I can't just, spend all my time on this show as much as I would love to.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be a matter of balancing real life and putting out content.
Yeah, it's a great way to look at it.
So the more I can put my thumb on the scale of this show, the more content we'll be able to put out. But for right now, it's going to be a very slow thumb.
Well, guys, if you're watching and you have questions, we can answer them live here. This is just a fun thing while we die. I'm in the background. What you can't see is I'm dialing up and turning all the knobs and testing all the settings and all of that stuff, making sure everything's copacetic. But make sure to let us know if anything sounds weird or if there's anything we need to change. The backdrop that you see right now is the blank slate of what is going to be a 3rd camera shot eventually. So here's the fun part. I can even take and do that, and we can still sit here and talk, and I can talk to you guys directly, and we can blow things up. Or if Ian wants to say something,
oh God, I'm huge. We've actually got some people that are watching us on TV right now on Chromecast. I was looking in the chat.
Oh, on TV?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Look at you now.
I'm on TV.
Yeah. So no, that's awesome. By the way, that's a really cool idea and a really cool way to watch it. So nicely done.
Nice.
But yeah, so no, we have all these new little options that we can do now that you've got, and then we'll be growing, and this is just going to be a process. This is, as we said, step 1, and then this will be a process of adding more and more cool things.
Yep. So we've got
including the background right now. The background.
Well, that's what I was going to tease. We've got the 2 close-ups, but we haven't really finished the backdrop yet, and I didn't want to delay going live any longer in order to just finish that backdrop. But we are going to have a third camera angle that's going to be a wide shot of the both of us with the entire backdrop. We're going to have a TV up there with some cool images, videos that we might be able to cut to, all of that fun stuff, all part of the plans for kind of the second half of the year as we evolve
and
this.
I've got 2 bags just full of cool swag to put up on the walls.
Shout out to Deuce
Elefante for giving us a whole bunch of cool stuff.
He went garage hunting and found all kinds of magazine articles and clippings from the 80s and 90s. It's and fantastic.
Shout out to the Wrestling Guy store too out in Vernon. I got a bunch of cool stuff from them too. If you are in LA, there's a very cool store here called the Wrestling Guy store. It is out in Vernon, which is the middle of nowhere, but ironically, it's also where my band's Lockout is, and I rehearse there, and so I swing by there on the way back.
I don't even know where. I've been here 15 years. I have no idea where Vernon is.
There's no reason you would need to know where Vernon was unless you had something to do there, or unless you want to go to the Wrestling Guy store. So
maybe.
But
that's on the list. I wanted to go over the take a minute to go over the Patreon tiers with everybody while they're in chat so they can ask any questions. Let's take a look. Jared says he can smell my beard from here. That's not true. I washed it last night. Yes, last night. That's true.
And it already smells.
Rule says you have an extra fan. My wife loves it.
Aww,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Go significant others.
Thanks, big Mrs. Sheerans.
Big fans of the household support.
Yeah.
And yes, thank you, Rule, for your Patreon pledge today. I really, really appreciate that. Speaking of which, I wanted to take a moment and go over the Patreon tiers with everybody that we've spent a couple of weeks kind of mulling this over. Okay, that's sneaky. You should say that instead of just sneaking it in on me. Don't talk about me behind my back, sir.
It smells like Pantene.
Oh, well, no, it smells like
Pantene and sadness.
Oh boy. Wow. Come on. Anyway, we updated them last night. I wanted to unveil them here with you guys today on the live stream test, but we're going to be kind of broadcasting them more out onto Twitter and the greater the interweb ether as we go through the week this week. As we've always had, the tip jar. No real rewards for this tier. This is just the same way you would throw your bartender or your waiter an extra buck or two when they deliver you something. If you want to throw a couple of bucks in the tip jar, that's the perfect place to do that, without any expectation of anything in return.
Other than that, I'll get a McDonald's cheeseburger out of it.
Yes, we get to eat is basically a thank you because we get to feed ourselves. The second tier is the $5 tier. That we call this pulling the curtain. This is your entry into bonus content. And this one's an important one because over the last couple of months, we've been doing the listener Q&A threads in the Busted Wide Open discussion group on Facebook. And the amount of questions and the interactivity that we get from you guys is amazing. It is so good to see that many questions and comments and feedbacks and all of that stuff. But in order to keep the show in a timely manner, we have to kind of, if you've seen the last few weeks, we've been whittling it down to like 3 to 5 questions. So what we want to do here is give you the opportunity to...
I think it's been getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Yes,
I guess is what I want to say.
It's a wonderful problem to have.
So what we want to do is put that capability in the lowest tier on Patreon. We're going to put up a thread on Patreon every week, starting, I believe, probably Tuesday night after SmackDown. Once we get those two viewed, then we can put up a thread in Patreon where you can post your questions. And what we'll do is that's not the only place that we'll address questions, but it's the ones that will get the priority.
And also, we are planning on, like, in terms of additional content that we want to provide, we want to do, like, extra shows, whether it's talking about a specific topic in depth. For example, we got, was it on Twitter or where was it that we got called?
Oh, you're jumping ahead of me. Hang on one second.
I'm sorry.
Hang on one second.
Hanging on. I was just going to point out that
the next tier.
I was just going to point out that there was room for a lot of questions, whether they're in Facebook or on the page or on Patreon. But Patreon will have priority.
By the way, where the hell is your band practicing? Because Eric Elledge even says his wife was born in L.A. and doesn't know where Vernon is.
Trust me, dude. It's like going through the wardrobe into Narnia to get there.
So the other part of the $5 tier is a copy of the show notes. And this is a popular thing. Ian spends a great amount of time fashioning the show notes into a final version that gives me a sort of crib sheet, gives us both a sort of crib sheet. He does have other things, but we want to share that with you guys. So in the $5 Pulling the Curtain tier, you get a copy of those show notes right after we record, and you get the ability to ask us questions throughout the week. All right? The next tier is the $10 tier. We called it aptly Going Over, right? So you're gonna go over with the show. You'll receive access to everything in Pulling the Curtain, which is your copy of the show notes and your ability to ask the questions. But as you were so aptly saying, Ian, this will give you introduce you to bonus content. We're talking about one bonus episode per month. And it's one of those things where we can continue to ramp that up over time as we get more of those.
That's actually going to be like a really good tier. The more stuff we get, because we both have such like I was just saying, we have a ton of ideas for bonus content, and that's going to become a huge tier as time goes on, because we're going to have bonus episodes. As I was saying, when we're going to talk about extra topics. So where did we get called out on this about not having given our opinions on Roman Reigns in detail?
Oh, that was on the questions thread last week. Unfortunately it was too late, but it's great that it worked out that way, because that's going to be our first bonus episode that we're going to do for the month of August for all $10 Patreons. Patrons, I think is the word you're supposed to use. $10 patron pledges. And really, of all the tiers that we've got, that is the value tier. You're getting the questions prioritized, you're getting his show notes, and you're getting the bonus episodes.
Was James Cridland asked us, was it James Cridland? No, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look for this post you sent me where someone was questioning, like, hey, why did you guys criticize Roman Reigns unless you really go into detail about it? I'm like, we're gonna go. I'd love to go into detail about it. We've got a show.
We've got a 2-hour show. We don't have
everything
time.
in. We've had it happen before on the podcast where all of a sudden we'll go on a Roman tangent and we run over as a result. So no, that's a great place to talk about that sort of thing, or to go back and relive a certain era in wrestling and really kind of dive deep into that, or give I wanted one I was talking about today. I'd love to do is like what would be our Mount Rushmore of wrestlers and why, really go deep into that, and then get fan feedback as well, listener feedback, have everyone kind of tune in and say, oh, well, this is mine. What do you think about this person? Why shouldn't they be on it? Why are they on it? What exactly makes a Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Exactly.
That sort of content. We've got some good people who are in the wrestling community down here in LA we'd love to have on, and that's going to be a place where they'll be able to step up and get on the show as well, and give some really interesting interviews and some of their own perspectives as well. So there's a ton that's going to be coming up in that $10
So do
tier.
we want to promise that those are our first 2 bonus episodes for anybody that gets in now on the $10 tier? We'll do the Roman Reigns conversation.
Roman Reigns and Rushmore.
Full deep dive on Roman Reigns.
And
for
Rushmore.
the August episode, and then September we'll do Mount Rushmore. Let's go ahead and put that out there.
By God, done.
Gavel.
Done. Oh God,
There you go, guys.
Roman almost went flying. No,
He almost fell.
He's got a good grip. Yeah.
All right, so the next one we're calling the heel turn. This is where things start getting a little bit more serious, because now you're going to start rocking some swag. You're going to get everything in the previous tiers, bonus episodes, show notes, and the ability to have your questions prioritized and answered. Plus, we're going to send you a T-shirt, and you can pick which of our designs. And believe me, there's 2 or 3 up there now. I think I got up this weekend. There's going to be a lot more coming very soon, whether it's catchphrases, fun pictures, or meme-type content. All of that stuff is going to be loaded up on the store throughout the rest of the year.
Nicholas Yates asks, are the Patreon tiers monthly or are they flat?
They're monthly. Some of the rewards are one-time rewards or monthly rewards. What I tried to do is design everything to be a monthly reward. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you want to give a one-time flat thing, that's kind of what the tip jar is there for.
Yes.
So if you just want to say, hey guys, we love the show, here's $10, and I don't really need anything for it. The monthly subscription thing is where we really designed the tiers to fit in. The only benefit that I can think of that comes into play is that's a one-off thing is the T-shirt tier, the $25 tier. So that's a thing where if you want, so for the $25 per month, you're going to get everything else, and you get a T-shirt with that. Next up is the face turn. All right, so you've been a heel, and now you're going to turn face. You will receive access to everything in all previous tiers, plus you get a chance to hang out with Nick and Sir Ian Dangerous on Skype.
Yes.
We'll talk about wrestling. We'll give you some terrible relationship advice. We'll debate the merits of what is and is not good scotch.
That's going to be a long conversation.
We'll talk about whatever you want to chat about, guys. And you get our full attention for 30 minutes. Call that once a month if you're a continued subscriber on that. But that is the $50 tier, so you get show notes, bonus episodes, questions, T-shirt, and
that's
Skype
that's
call.
a great way to be interactive as well. Like if you've got opinions on the show and you want to like really just get in the nitty gritty and say, why don't you guys do this? Why do you guys do that? Get that tier, and that's actually much more a part of the show because you can directly interact with us and how our thoughts and what we should be doing on the show and what we actually think about things.
Yeah.
Whether it's wrestling related or not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
We won't get political though. No politics.
No
politics.
No, you'll never hear me talk about politics on this show. That's not the place for it, and whatever. I think I've mentioned that the McMahon family is Republicans once or twice.
That's politics.
All right,
Stop that. Stop it.
Jared, Rule said, good suggestion, Rule. I have a small remark. We're watching on our TV, which is a plasma. Since the upper right of the screen doesn't move, it'll burn into the screen. Great note for me. I do have some other animated overlays that I've been playing with. Just haven't gotten there yet, but I will by the time we get there. Looking at doing some lower third animations so that we can just bounce that stuff in and out so it doesn't do what you're talking about, especially with the white BWO up there and the static icons. Great point.
That's one reason why we're doing this is to get feedback exactly like that. Perfect.
Let me make a note.
Static burn-in.
Static burn-in.
Yeah, think about the plasma TVs, man. Come on.
I am a former owner of a plasma TV, and it was so sad when it started to go last year. I rode it out as long as I could, but I had to switch. Jared, my good buddy Jared, after years of having drunken conversations with Nick, I can testify that his relationship advice is in fact really, really bad. That's a good point. I am not a model spokesperson for relationships. I can give you the worst advice in the world.
Well, that's the great dynamic about our show.
Yeah.
Because I am.
Oh, okay. Well, Esther did weigh in here as a girlfriend and patron.
Oh, your girlfriend weighed in.
Remember, can I give relationship advice?
She literally is your better half.
Yes.
Literally
in
is
every way
in
possible.
every way possible.
Yes. The fact that she even allows me and tolerates.
The only reason that I'm doing the show with you instead of her is because of the technical stuff that you're able to do.
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying.
That's it. We're done.
Hey.
All that stuff I just got done talking about, never mind.
We're canceling the show.
I'm kidding. Done.
We're canceling the show, and I'm going to go do the show with Esther.
Oh, God. Next up, we've got Road Dogg. If you are powerful enough and willing to give $100 more per month, we have a limited exclusive tier just for you. You're going to get everything else that we've already outlined, plus you'll officially be a co-producer on the show with an official listed credit alongside Nick and Sir Ian.
Now,
Dangerous.
what does that involve? What do they have
I'm going to get there. We're going to work with you to help us design a special segment that you can design and name to be in one episode every month contributed at this tier.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a limited exclusive, and since we only do right now 4 episodes a month, only 4 people can get in on it. So this is a special one. And I know it's a little bit more money, but including everything else that's already in there, you get a credit, you get to be part of the show, you get to help write a special segment. That's all good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Are you happy with that too?
Yeah. I'm curious what that entails as far as do they are they going to be on the show? Are they writing a segment?
They're writing a segment. They're not hosting.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, now if you want to host, by God, we got a tier for you.
Hey,
the Nature Boy, right? And realistically, I priced this one so high that it was like nobody's going to buy this one. This is one of the. It's not quite as crazy as going in Raw's $200,000 Vince McMahon tier, but somebody might step up.
I mean, Ric Flair is kind of broke generally. He's bankrupt a lot, so
that's true.
$1,000 for him versus $200,000.
I mean, that's a bar tab for him.
That's a happy hour bar tab for Ric Flair.
So at the Nature Boy level for $1,000 a month, you become an executive producer of the Busted Wide Open podcast. You will guest host with Nick and Sir Ian Dangerous on one of the monthly bonus episodes that are exclusive to our patrons. And yes, of course, you get all the other stuff and all the other tiers. You are the jet-flying, limo-riding, kiss-stealing nature boy.
Wheeling, dealing, can't keep these gators down.
$600 lizard shoes are sold separately.
Woo. Yeah. So anyway,
there you go, guys.
That's Patreon.
That's Patreon.
What they do.
We do not want to inundate. I wrote a nice big speech last night to put up on there so you can go read that later, but we do not want to inundate this show with a lot of ads. That's the one thing that I want to avoid at all costs. So the idea here is to fund the growth of the show steadily and scale it more
if we do ads, can we just do ads for like underwear and
like
beer?
Tap Out?
Or no, just like undies. I want to do undies and DDP yoga, like Pro Wrestling Torch.
Okay.
Like
Me Undies, that thing?
Yeah, Me Undies.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just kidding. I don't really
want to. Any of you guys in chat, would you buy Me Undies?
Stop it.
Have you done that?
Unless they're paying for time on our show, why are we even talking about them? Stop it.
Well, it's interacting with our audience, Ian. You know? Jared says, take me on a drunken excursion to Vegas like we talked about before, and I'll buy it.
I'll see if we can get
You'll buy what, Jared?
Sponsorship from Modelo or something.
Right. Oh, ooh, hello. That's a good one. I would actually drink Modelo if they.
Well, drink it on the show.
This podcast is brought to you by Powerade Zero. Great flavor because I'm addicted to it.
Now with more belching. That would be what we call our show. It's just be nothing but carbonation coming back up, which would be an awful, awful, awful show, and we will not do that to you. I promise.
So if you guys have any questions about the tiers, certainly you can ask them in chat. You can send me a private message on Patreon. It's directly. Or you can send us an email to bwo@orbitaljigsaw.com. And Jared said he'd be the best damn drunken guest host ever. I think so. We may have to test that one day.
I'll be happy to go shot for shot with him and see who's a better drunken host.
Oh,
leave him sleeping underneath the desk while I continue to talk about.
Win is the race to finish a case of Natty Ice. Oh. That takes intestinal fortitude that I don't know anyone else but Jared can handle.
That takes liver fortitude and the fortitude to not want to have your whole body just reject that crappy beer. Oh jeez,
I'm just was that the Beast? No, that was Old Milwaukee Ice. Unleash the Beast. You remember that from the 90s?
I sadly do. I was up in the Northwest at that point drinking Olympia, but. I still have a soft spot for Olympia.
So that's Patreon, guys. As I said, ask us any questions. That's the direction we want to go with things as we grow into more and more of this fun live interactive stuff.
I mean, I don't want to misrepresent. At some point, I think advertising will be part of the show, but the less we can have it, the more minimal we can keep the advertising. So have it be more listener based, so that it is really more of a listener show, very much more in touch with the listeners of the show, as opposed to being beholden to corporate monopolies, if you will.
Yes, exactly.
That's how we would like to keep this.
Yep.
And of course, obviously, we'll see how it goes. We were going to be doing a lot of outreach, and hopefully with the extra content, video content specifically. That we'll be putting out there. Obviously, some of it will be exclusive for Patreon members. We'll be putting out stuff on YouTube as well to try and bring in more people and grow this whole community. This is definitely much the ground floor, and we want to make this much, much bigger.
Yeah.
And luckily, between we have some friends who have grown their podcasts or their shows, and so we by example can look at that and say, okay, it's possible, it's doable, we're going to do it. And it's really cool that right now we are on that ground floor. And thank you guys all for being with us on that ground floor, because this elevator's going up and we have a lot of plans on how to do that.
Yes. So. Well, Ian, what else do we want to talk about with the crew today? Guys, throw your questions in. You've got our attention for about 10 more minutes here. What do you want to...
That's pretty much all the business we had to get to.
That's the biz.
Hey, we got some new T-shirt designs. There's more coming down the pike. Yeah. Patreon just got reset up, and hopefully is appealing. So if you guys questions, comments, if you think that we could tweak anything with Patreon, if we think that we could anything that you want to see as far as designs, anything that sticks out to you guys from the show, anything that you guys want to see different on the show, now's the time. We got 10 minutes. throw it at us. You know what I mean? Like we are here live and interactive.
Eric said that the face-off with you and Jared, who can finish a case of Natty Ice first. Now that's Extreme Rules.
That is Extreme Rules. I'm not much known for my beer drinking, but when liquor comes into play, I am Scottish, and my Scottish liver will definitely come into play on that one. I have decades of bartending experience to help me with that. But Natty Ice, that's a...
Jared, why wait till next year? Why don't you just come out this year?
That's Natty Ice is kind of like me getting into a cage with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that's a very good analogy.
The only way I'm getting out is if I'm going through a table.
Andrea said, "What are some shirt designs that you are thinking about making?" Andrea, I can't spoil that. There got to be surprises.
Wait, what is it? What was the question?
She said, "What are some shirt designs that you are thinking about making?"
Oh no, I've got a couple. I definitely want to take the "I'm So Bored with Roman Reigns." Obviously, that's a reference to a wonderful Clash song.
We're gonna have variations of that one.
Yeah, I want to make that into a little bit more of like a Clash looking T-shirt. It's like at a distance, it looks like a Clash shirt, and then it's actually "I'm so bored with the U.S. with Roman Reigns." Oh, sorry, I got it confused. Yeah. But do that. We definitely want to have like any more catchphrases that we have, like throw them up there. Couple different looks at the BWO design itself. And I'm actually got a couple of artist friends who we're going to try and get to do some artistic representations of the bearded one over there and myself. So just some cool different logos. I mean, this is all stuff that is in the works. But that's off the top of my head. I have to go look at some of the other things I had written down about.
I got some notes.
Yeah,
but I'm an under promise and over deliver kind of guy. So
I see.
I don't want to throw anything out there that isn't done already.
You're like Scotty from Star Trek V, where he says you know what, that's how you get a reputation as a miracle worker. Is
Star Trek V references?
That's right.
God, I can't remember the last time I watched Star Trek V.
That's to start the thing I could only do in 3 weeks. I'll get it done in 3 hours. Hey, you're a miracle worker, Scotty. I know. With the Scott with the worst Scottish accent in the world, but
that's not bad, dude. As a voiceover guy, that's not bad.
I'm just getting started.
Oh boy. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap this up really quick. Jared
let's see. Hold on.
Oh, he's waiting until next year. Okay, he's talking about something completely different. I think he's drinking and watching Raw already.
Is he? Lucky devil.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to get to watch that until after work.
Yeah, I'm going to try and watch it live tonight, so I'll be on Twitter and hanging out in the group. So you guys chat away.
And
T-minus what, an hour? A little over an
hour? To answer Brooke, who's in the text right now, we cannot put the web address in the chat. It won't let us put web addresses in the chat, but it is patreon.com/BWO for the Patreon page. That's patreon.com/BWO.
And it is one of those static ones that we put up there in the right, which I now have to take down because Rule called me out on it, and he's exactly right, and I don't want to burn shit into people's TVs.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin TVs.
Yeah. That's actually, I mean, if I'm gonna burn something into your TV, our Patreon address is probably pretty good, you know.
Jeez,
I mean that's shitty.
That's messed up, man. Yeah. They're trying to watch Handmaid's Tale, and they're seeing our Patreon address instead.
It's psychology. It's just.
Well, this episode of Westworld would be a whole lot better without Patreon.com/BWO. Jeez.
Oh man,
those animals.
This is gonna be fun. Oh. We are going to have some fun with this.
I'm going to have some fun with this because Jared is just destroying you in chat right now.
That's fine.
With your man bun.
Yeah, believe me, if you saw our thread on Facebook for the last, I don't know, 10 years,
it's
whatever.
Just nonstop him burning you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man. What am I going to do then? That's my job.
I don't know.
That's my job on this show.
I am convinced that Jared was put on this earth to berate and make fun of me and keep me humble. That's Jared. That's been your job ever since I've known you. About 10 years now. About 2008 is when Jared and I met. So, anywho, do we have anything? Oh, I do need to make one small announcement. I am going to Philadelphia on Sunday. I'm leaving on Sunday, and I will be gone next week. So no show next week.
Yeah. So this Thursday will be our last show until our live show.
Until the live show.
Is that how it works?
We'll be going live as soon as I come back the following Thursday. So.
Wow.
We wanted to get past Extreme Rules. I'm going to be gone in Philly. It's a big show called Podcast Movement.
Oh,
so where a lot, several thousand podcasters and industry luminaries and the actual vendors themselves for like Shure microphones and Blueberry, our partner host, all get together and we all talk podcasting for a week. And so I'll be presenting at Podcast Movement on building Orbital Jigsaw. So unfortunately, we will not have a show next week. But as soon as we get back,
and I would be happy to do it myself, but this is the man with the tech right here. So without him, I'm basically just a dude sitting in my house talking to the wall.
Well, I mean, you could record it into your phone.
I could record it into my phone, and it could come out in everyone's left ear.
Could you talk for 2 hours? Well, you kind of do talk for 2 hours straight.
I do talk for 2 hours straight, and I let you get a word in edgewise every once in a while.
Every now and then, yeah. Rule says
theoretically I could. I mean, and it would just be a crap. It would just sound like crap for 1 week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's talk about it. Well, maybe it'll be a Ian Dangerous only show next week that sounds like crap. Which
no, we're not. We're just taking a week off.
Aw, man.
Let's not ruin the good thing we've built here for a year.
All right.
My wife, my wife Natalie says thanks for not ruining our TV, and she'll drink you under the table. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, they're Rule. You guys are Dutch? Are you? Oh, they're in Belgium, in Brussels.
Are they? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they're near the Delirium Tremens brewery, which is that beer terrifies me. They're used to drinking super high proof stuff. Oh,
Jared says Nia Jax is the greatest wrestler alive. Discuss,
dude.
You're fired.
We just got everything set up. Don't make him catch on fire and burn everything alive. Right? Jeez, that's
scanners. My head just explodes.
That one vein just starts throbbing on your forehead.
My Champa vein.
Your Champa vein. I could see it through your head of hair. Your man bun starts pulsing. Nia Jackson. Oh my God.
Yep. So a lot of stuff coming. Check out the new Patreon. Check out the tiers. Check out the new merch on the store. Got a couple of the new designs up there. Many more to come in the coming weeks. We're going to miss next week. I'm just running back down the recap real quick. Live August 2nd, Thursday, August 2nd at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'll be putting the event things in Facebook in the discussion group the same way I did for this. So thank you guys for tuning in and responding on that. I'll set it up as a recurring one so you can let us know who's going to be there, and it'll remind you guys when we're going live. Nicholas Yates asked, what are the name of your bands?
Oh, we're going to turn it into an Ian promotional show.
Oh, boy.
I've got two different bands. They're very different. They are both on Spotify, though. One is called House of Rabbits, and it's more of a theatrical hard rock, weird.
It's very unique.
It is. Both bands are a little unique, but yeah. It's like Queens of the Stone Age meets Queen meets Tim Burton. Tomahawk. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
And then the other one is called The Milky Way. It's a real bitch to Google, I'll tell you, because you get a lot of pictures of stars,
space stuff,
a lot of space stuff. Not a lot of the band, but they are also on Spotify and iTunes, and that's more of like a funky hip hop Prince meets Outkast kind of band. So two very different bands. They're a lot of fun, and I very much enjoy playing in them. And a new album from House of Rabbits coming at the end of the year.
You've not told me that.
Another thing I'll be doing for the rest of the year is recording that. We have all the demos done, and it's going to be sick. As a matter of fact, we actually just put up a video of one of our new songs on YouTube for the NPR Tiny Desk contest.
Nice. You guys are doing that again this year?
We did it again, and we actually it was pretty big, actually. We got pretty big with that video. Lots of commendations, so that was very cool. But
nice.
that's up on YouTube, House of Rabbits. The song was called Secret Saffron, or you can just search it for
be on Spotify,
NPR.
Right?
That one is not on Spotify yet. It's one of our new songs, but it will be when we record it for the new album.
Gotcha.
So small segue into Sir Ian Dangerous land there, but the question was asked. So
yes.
I will answer.
That's what we're here for. That's it, guys. I think.
But thank you for the question, Nicholas.
That's it. Is that all we got to talk about? Anything else you can think of?
Barring any questions popping up in the chat here in the next couple of seconds, yeah, I think that's it for our first round. Obviously, this is going to be something that we'll be doing a lot more often, and as something that's included in some of the Patreon tiers, we'll be doing these kinds of live casts where we'll just be talking off the cuff and answering chat questions. Obviously, we'll be having mailbag episodes, which are static questions, ones that have been thrown in there into either the Facebook discussion group or into Patreon, and we'll be having whole episodes for that. We will also be having these live chat question and answer sessions where it's just kind of a little bit more free form, and we'll try to keep it to wrestling. Although I'd be happy to promote my bands at any point. But but that being said, barring anything else in the chat, I think we're wrapping it up.
I'm not catching anything. I think we got to everything.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for joining us, guys. Thanks for helping us with this test. Sorry we were a few minutes late. We did have a couple of panic attack moments. I was legit having a panic attack over here.
I was just hunkered down over here while Nick was just pouring sweat.
It included a full system reboot of everything, and whatever I did, it came back and it started working.
It worked and everyone seems to be enjoying it. And thanks to everyone in the chat for your feedback, giving us notes, giving us questions. That was very awesome of you to show up today. Hope to see you guys again. We'll be doing this more and more and more.
Yep. Tune in for the Thursday show. Will be out on Thursday. The Extreme Rules recap will be out here in about an hour or so.
Yep.
We'll have that up for you.
And that was a good episode.
I got to get that done real quick so I can go watch Raw, and because I'm anxious. I'm dying to see what happens on Raw tonight.
Yeah.
It could be a really interesting Raw.
They set up some big stuff.
Yeah, they did.
Some big stuff. Will Braun Strowman... will Brock Lesnar? Will Braun Strowman beat up Kevin Owens again? Will Brock Lesnar...
Is Kevin Owens alive?
Is Kevin Owens alive is a good question. Is Brock Lesnar going to be stripped of his title? Or will he face Bobby Lashley or Roman Reigns at SummerSlam? That is the big question of the week. That's the big speculation going on right now across all of the wrestling, WWE wrestling world, is what's going on with Brock. And what's happening next with that.
Who are the B team going to face next?
Is AOP going to come in and destroy the B team?
To destroy him?
What does Seth Rollins do next now that he's lost to Dolph Ziggler?
Does he go into a program with Drew McIntyre?
Has cost him
Tons of stuff.
And he's lost it. Now he's lost to Drew, and then Drew cost him the Intercontinental belt. No, what happens next?
I'm excied. We got to get out of here so I can go edit.
Sadly, I'm not too excited about the women's division on Raw, and hopefully they change that tonight with jacking up the Ronda Rousey angle, perhaps going somewhere with Sasha and Bayley. So there's lots of stuff that hopefully happens tonight on Raw. Hopefully it's a big Raw and gets us going the right direction for SummerSlam.
Yes.
Which is
Please
only
course correct that ship.
A few weeks away.
Yeah,
hopefully
4 weeks now, I think.
Hopefully they do everything big that they're going to do this week, because we won't be able to talk about it next week, and so they can have a nice mellow week next week, so there's nothing we're really missing except for a bunch of the G1. But it's okay. It'll give me time to catch up on the G1.
G1 lasts like 6 weeks. We're good.
It's so much wrestling. It's so much wrestling.
It's like 8 hours of wrestling a day for 6 weeks straight.
But it's all so good.
It is so good.
Such good wrestling. Oh, God. Jay White beat Okada. I'm sorry. That's still blowing my mind. I'm fried.
Guys, we're getting out of here. I got to go edit real quick. And I know Ian has stuff to do as well.
I've got to get to work.
Yeah. Monday Midnight Metal Madness
Midnight Metal Madness tonight. That's correct, sir.
Woo! So. Jared, thank you for the gift to my inbox. I'm scared to open it, as I always am. And we will see you guys Thursday for our weekly show.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. We will talk to you soon.
Bye-bye, God!
Would somebody stop the damn match?